Alright people, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us in another one here on the coach's desk. Like me say, people with the outside. Yeah man, hoping that everybody is doing well and everybody is doing alright. So here we go on now. So I gave my disappointments of trials. And I see the commenters them, yeah. I see you adding your own disappointments of the trials. So now it is the highs of the championship, because of course we have to talk about the highs of the championship as well, you know, because it was not only bad things that, you know, came out of the championship, because in every championship you're going to be having spills and thrills. I've learned that over the years, you know, being a coach at champs, where you're vying for championship, and you know, sometimes there's a spill. Persons you expected, you know, to give a point here and there or even win a medal did not, but the ones that you expect not to, they are the ones that really show up. And I want to kick it off right now with, so Shelly and Fraser Price making the team is another great high for me at the championship. Of course, you know, Shelly and Fraser Price, I don't remember her lining up in the national stadium and not making a team. And that's over a decade of running and competing. She has to be in the conversation. Shelly is the GOAT, my people. Shelly is phenomenal. Shelly is one of the greatest. So Shelly making the team, another team, yo, this is incredible. You know, she basically go back to where it started. Started in Tokyo 07 and now in ending in Tokyo. Yo, this you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Shelly is just phenomenal. I don't know already, you know, one ShellyAnn, one Fraser Price, I don't know one Mommy Rocket. Kishane Thompson's performance, yeah man, Kishane Thompson's performance at trials, I believe, was one of the massive performance. A world lead, 975 going into the 9 bracket, going into an elite company. I do believe that Kishane's ceiling is very high. And there's something I notice about Kishane, you know. Kishane is on the verge of perfecting his craft where the 100-meter sprint is concerned. I see where he's getting out of the blocks, he's moving through those that acceleration or drive phase really good, if you ask me. From 0 to 30 meters is very, very fast and quick. Yeah, and also too, when you look at his transition is good. To me though, Kishane is more of a power sprinter. He hit that ground hard, like, you know, a tennis ball you hit on the ground soft, it doesn't come up. But if you apply more force, that's the time it come up. That's how I see Kishane as a sprinter, you know. And it is working for him. It is definitely working for him. So I'm very much impressed with Kishane Thompson's world lead. I mean, Kishane would have put the Americans on watch. He has sent out a serious warning to the Americans, whether they believe it or not. You know, some might say, oh, let him do it at Tokyo. But I'm telling you, I'm putting it to you right now that Kishane will be shutting down the whole United States after you win that race. That me I tell you now. So I'm not going to no more conversation right now about that, because, you know, we soon get into that, my people. Alright, so the next one I want to talk about is the fact that Tina Clayton, yes, Tina Clayton regained her stronghold on the twin turbo. She's pretty much the fastest of the two twin, you know what I mean? And that is pretty decent for her, you know, for her to have that disappointment of last year, and she could come out and you could see the signs and glimpses of it throughout the start of this season, you know, that, you know, Tina is really in a spot where she wants to make that team. I mean, she even indicated that her sister motivated her in such a way that, you know, the sky is the limit for her. So for me, that was a high of the championship for me. Tia taking the national title in the 100 meters. Yeah, and I'm looking forward for her doing great things as well. 2-time back-to-back World Under 20 champion. I wonder if she can go and deal with something greater than that. Anyways, moving over to Delano Kennedy. Yo, you see that Delano Kennedy youth, yeah? And first and foremost, I have to big up our coach. You know? You see Shaniki Osborne, Shelly, doing a fantastic job. Doing a fabulous job with those youngsters. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Throughout his injuries, she has been there. She worked with him. She ensured that, you know, she was very careful with him. She was very mindful. She was meticulous on, you know, even selecting meets for him to run. And persons might be wondering how come he was running that often, but she was getting him back into the rhythm. You know, she was getting him back into the rhythm. And persons would say, oh, he might run on a peer 47. But he was running to get back in his groove because a long time he never run. And if you can't understand that, I don't know. So him running a 2 personal best in the 400 meters, that was excellent. Dipping below 45 twice, that was expected. You see, from we saw him at Racers Grand Prix, we know that this youth is going to be doing great things. I know that this youth was going to step up the game. And you know, a lot of people believe that Shaniki Osborne cannot coach 400 meters because they see a Candice McLeod and thought that she would have been stagnant, she would have been at the same position at the same time, you know. She just keep being at the 50 point, 51 thereabout. So they probably thought that, you know, she couldn't, you know, get past a certain level. But she's proven now that she's indeed a good coach. Not only for the short sprints, but that long sprint in the 400 meter, it is happening. And kudos to Delano Kennedy, that youth. We're expecting great things. And for me, I believe that he will get the standard. I'm not worried about him not getting the standard. I believe that he will get the standard. Yeah, no doubt about that. Because, I mean, races are going to come up. And if you look at the trajectory, each time he competes, he gets better and better and better. Yeah? So with that said, I believe that he will get that. Moving on to the next highs of the championship. Christopher Taylor coming back after almost 2 years. After almost 2 years, Christopher Taylor came back and he ran a personal best in 200 meters. That is incredible. Christopher Taylor pretty much started off the championship. And he said it. He used the 100 meters to wet his feet because, you know, coming into the championship, he did not do a lot of races. So it was for him to get some races in so that he can actually, you know, get those jitters out. That explosiveness that he would have wanted in the 200 meters, he used the 100 meters to get it. And you see where he fell short, not only in the time, but especially in the 100 meters when he wasn't that explosive out the blocks. But you could see that quarter mile strength and speed endurance working for him in the latter half of the race. Yeah, so that is a good look, and I certainly hope and trust that he'll get that time. I mean, coming back from such a long time and to get that standard locking race, I think it's the best thing that he did in terms of running that 100 meters. And I mean, the coaches would have thought about it very carefully. Yeah, if it wasn't thought about carefully, then him just running 3 rounds of the 200 might not have gotten him to get that standard. And you see, sub 20 is not, or 20.1 is not easy for you to run, you know, especially when you're out so long, you know. so I mean, that is one of my highs of the championship. Christopher Taylor coming back and making the team, albeit he still has to run the qualifying standard. So I'm looking forward to that, and I certainly believe that he can get it. With more training, with more races, I certainly believe. Remember, I talked about Delano Kennedy in the early part of the season. He was running. The same thing with Christopher. He needed the races. It's so sad that he had to do it at the championship, but he needed those races. Yeah, you can't complain about that. Brian Levell, highs, him defending his title. Not only defending his title, he PB'd in the 100 meters, clocking sub 10 again. That's a very good thing for Brian Levell. And This youngster is improving immensely, rapidly, and I really love that, and I believe that there is more to come from a Brian Levell. I'm giving probably another season or two, and definitely once he stays healthy, once he stays injury free, I certainly believe that his ceiling is going to be very, very high. Yeah. And finally, people, well, not finally, Megan Topper. Megan Topper was a high for me at the championship. When I see Megan in that first round, that semi-final round in the hurdle, oh my word, it worked well for Megan. Hey, you see the fact that Megan said she going to skip races, because when I spoke to her in Philly, you know, people, she spoke about having niggles, she spoke about having issues, and there's some things that she wants to work on, and she said she now go a trial a Racers Grand Prix because there's something. I even spoke to her about the latter part of her race. She always get those fast start, and she spoke about, yes, it is something that she's working on. And may I tell her, you know, see, she get the start, and she also had the finish, and that massive 12.34 from her, excellent. You would want to get a better place to run a PB and be the national champion. Awesome work from Megan, and I know that Megan has more in store for her. She also believes that she can go faster. You understand what I'm saying? So this is very good for her. I like it, and certainly I'm looking forward for her, you know, to, you know, establish herself even more. A lot of persons look at her height as a disability, but she uses it to her advantage. Another hurdler that I want to talk about is the man Orlando Bennett. He knows how to make team, people. Yeah, man, Bennett know how to make team. And you wonder, oh, this youth always depend on team. I think he put together a very decent race. Not perfect, but I think he put together a very decent race. So all in all, I certainly believe that, yo, this youth, he met the team. That was a high for me. Yeah, and it might not be your high, but this is my high. So I want you to now tell me, people, your highs of the championship. If you agree with mine, fine. If you don't agree, fine, you can share it as well. Yeah, man, big up on yourself. Until next time, stay safe. Peace.